Hey YouTube, Dark Ricician of Team Sorcerers here, and I'm finally profiling my Genesys format Elemental Hero deck. Now, it hasn't been, this way of playing it hasn't been used in a real life game yet, but I did, however, use it on Master Duel earlier, yeah, this is now following the April 30th points list change. I only just learnt that there was a change earlier, but after a quick flick through, it doesn't look like any of my decks are affected. Well, Red Dragon Archfiend potentially will be, because the Crimson King has a few points. Not that I have it yet, or modified it with the newer stuff. But, oh yeah, and the Power Vice Dragon I think has points now as well, but we'll get to that shortly. Now, as it stands, the deck should be at 80 points, because in the side, which I made on Dueling Book, it's 98 points, because there's 3 Nibiru's in the side deck, and that's 18 points, but without those, the deck stands at 80 points. And yeah, it's not much different from the way I was playing it before Ricician format was a thing. So, without further ado, let's begin. So I'm playing all 5 of the vanillas still, so if I can get him in the shot, there we are. Avian, Burstinatrix, Clayman, Sparkman, Neos, then Honest Neos, then 2 copies of Spirit of Neos. This is becoming one of my favourite hand traps. I think I'm going to have to do a top 10 favourite hand trap list at some point. Then 2 copies of Stratos, 1 Liquid Soldier, 2 copies of Shadow Mist, 1 Vision Hero Vion. If this was my Ricician format deck, this would have been Pot of Greed, but I don't have an. But if I have Pot of Greed in there, it's going to go over 100 points. So yeah, Vion's a good replacement for it. Then of course there's Neospatian Dark Panther and Neospatian Grand Mole, because obviously I need Neospatians to be able to use EN Engage Neospace, and these are 2 of the best ones. And it gives me an excuse to play Nebula Neos, then Crosskeeper, and finally King of the Swamp. So that's it for the monsters, on with the spells. So for the spells, starting with the search cards, we have Reinforcement of the Army, there we go, so that's still 33 points, at least at the time of recording it is. Then 3 copies of E-Emergency Call, that's standard for any Elemental Hero deck. 2 copies of EN Engage Neospace, 2 copies of Instant Contact, 3 copies of Miracle Fusion. I don't agree with the ratio of playing just 1 or 2. 3 is an absolute must. Even though I only play 1 in my Rainbow Neos deck, but Rainbow Neos is more the focus, so that's an exception there. Anyway, 3 copies of Polymerization, 2 copies of Super Polymerization, 13 points each. So Regeki, that's 4, and Twin Twisters. And then for traps, there's not a huge lineup here. 2 copies of Favourite Contact, 1 Infinite Impermanence, that's 12, and Solemn Strike, that's 5. I mean, I guess I could probably get away with running a second copy of Imperm, or a second Solemn Strike, since I have 20 points to spare, but I don't know. I don't have any other copies going spare, of Imperm, that is. Anyway, on with the Fusion deck. Yeah, I know it's actually the extra deck, but I still call it the Fusion deck. But the extra deck, the Fusion deck for this deck, since it's all fusions. Where are we? And obviously, none of the fusions have any points. So, 1 Shining Neos Wingman, Nebula Neos. It is possible to go into it, but I only ever bring it out with Favourite Contact. You know, if the option is there. I mean, it is possible to contact fuse it normally, but that never comes up. And Plasma Vice, because I wanted to include as many of the Sparkman fusions as I could, since they're some of the best ones. Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman, because as you know, it's my favourite hero, as well as my favourite warrior and favourite fusion monster, and it's the boss monster of my Elemental Hero deck. So I like being able to have 2. Then Thunder Giant, Flame Wingman, and then for the Omnis, well, there's 1 of each Omni: Great Tornado, Nova Master, The Shining, Absolute Zero, Escaridal, and Gaia, and then 1 Sunrise and 1 Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. Now, I do own a Thunder Giant Voltic Thunder, which recently came out in Maze of Myrtos, but that's in my hero collection right now, and I still can't think of anything I'd want to drop for it. I mean, some would say maybe one of the Omni Elemental Heroes, but the thing is, like, I need all the Omnis so I can use them with super polymerization. 'Cause, well, you never know what kind of problematic monster you might go up against. Maybe the original Thunder Giant, or maybe Plasma Vice. I don't know. If the extra deck limit in Genesys was still was bigger than 15, and we could play 20 at least, then that would make it a lot easier to fit in. Never mind. Anyway, that's it for my Genesys Elemental Hero deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and a comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. And thanks for watching. Stay safe. See you later. Bye.